start a discussion. I know you're here. Thank you for coming.
Yes, no, we're happy to be here. If we can at least have a discussion while we wait for, I don't know if you all have any action items, but we're here from Laredo College. My name is Amanda del Toro. I'm the program coordinator for the Bachelor's in Organizational Leadership program. And let me first start by telling you how we got introduced to LC. Is it LCUAS? Is that what y'all call it? So one of our students.
I'm sorry, hold on
yes.
a second. We are on. Okay.
I'm sorry? Oh, recording.
We're recording.
Do you want me to restart?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So we got introduced to the organization by one of our students, Melinda Gomez Johnston. And she's very passionate about this organization, and she invited me to kind of check it out because something that we do in our leadership program is obviously we promote service work, and we do that through experiential learning projects, somewhat like internships, but a little bit more on a leadership scale. So every semester we assign a project that students have to lead, manage, control, kind of see out to fruition throughout the semester, throughout the program. Our program is only 10 months. It's a 10 classes, 10 months in duration. And this semester we have partnered up, or we're thinking about partnering up with Mr. Moreno and assigning a team of students to help them kind of grow and expand your organization. Of course, with your permission, right? So when in talking with Mr. Moreno last month, he mentioned a great struggle with volunteers, right, and kind of on a consistent basis. So what we thought would be a good project for our students to kind of work on this semester is to kind of come up with recruitment strategies and kind of come up with a volunteer program. Also, maybe a marketing campaign attached to it to kind of expand awareness. Because I was aware of the gardens, I just didn't know also all the things that the organization does. So it's good work. It's good work, and we want to be a part of it if you allow us to. And we got 2 students. So if allowed, these 2 students would be joining Mr. Moreno this semester to kind of help grow that volunteer and recruitment effort.
And like Miss Amanda was
First,
saying,
can you tell us your name again?
Amanda del Toro. Yes. And this is
Francisco Gutierrez.
now the good thing is that everything is tied to curriculum, to their classes, right?
yes.
Melinda, or Meli, as we know her in the garden, she's one of our core volunteers, just like Ruby, Sochik, and others. And she's been with us for the past 3 years, working very, very hard. Even with the pandemic, we were there with masks and all, working. She handles a lot of things, like Ruby. She handles harvesting, she handles farmers market, she handles maintenance, everything, seeds, all. We do a little bit of everything there. And Mary is one of your past students that she comes across.
Yes. So we're happy to help any way that we can. We promote a lot of service, leadership. The other student that we have here is Ms. Elisa Rodriguez. And we're here to help any way we can. So we're open to suggestions, we're open to projects. Last time we talked, the project was recruitment and volunteerism.
Yeah, we talked about volunteers, recruitment, and
Promote social media and marketing.
The website creation.
Is this
Yeah, that's in my report.
this is the,
Yes, and I have information on the program that I can pass out here.
So the thing here is that we have an MOU on hold, right?
Yes. So there's an MOU that we've already created for Laredo College. It's already been signed, I believe, by our president, Nita Ramirez, Dr. Nita Ramirez. And I think it's just pending the board approval. And then we would need Mr. Moreno's signature.
Thank you.
So when does the program program start, or did it start already?
So the
or-
program starts every long semester. So we take a group of interns every spring and every fall. So this week is the start of the spring semester. And then we'll take in another group of student interns in August.
And how many hours can they dedicate to LCUAS, or how would that work?
So it's not so much about, because the program that we have here is not, we don't service our traditional student, which is a traditional student being someone between the ages of 18 and 21, 22 that lives at home with mom and dad and doesn't work. The majority of us, the students in our program are working adults with kids and all. So the program is online. So the students usually have a full-time job. So this is a project that they kind of plan, lead, and manage on their off hours.
Okay.
So they'll be meeting, they'll be scheduling meetings amongst themselves to kind of get the project going. Now, they're able to, if their schedules permit, of course, they're able to volunteer, but the project is more to grow a volunteer program and recruitment efforts.
And if you allow me to add something, I have a lot of experience working with non-traditional students. In my background, I work at TAMIU with transfer students that were coming from LCC, at that time LCC, to TAMIU. So I work a lot with students in the past. And I recognize one of your 3 students is from TAMIU, right?
Yes, Christina. Uh-huh.
2 LC students and 1 TAMIU student.
Well, there's a TAMIU student, but she's coming back to LC to pursue this bachelor's.
Okay.
But
So
I
where
believe-
does this work here?
So this is just information on the program, but if what you're holding up there is the degree plan.
And are they part of that degree plan?
Yes, this is part of their class.
I know, so where does the work that they're doing?
So the whole experiential learning project that they're going to be working on is built into all of these classes.
All of them?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So it's going to be broken up into portions,
So is there a list of things that he knows that they need to go through?
No, curriculum-wise, they don't. He wouldn't worry about anything. We're the ones that are taking care of the curriculum and making sure that the objectives that they're completing are lining up with the curriculum in our classes.
Okay.
So he just has to make sure that he meets with them and gives them a direction if they have questions or whatnot
In developing?
in developing the program.
For example, one of the tasks that I'm thinking, right now we're struggling because we don't know which of my volunteers are attending the farmers market this Saturday. We have an idea, we kind of have an idea. We probably 2 of them will take care of the harvest with me, and then 2 of them will go with me to the events, right? But my idea is that somehow they can handle the farmers market duties and teams, so they can help me to do that. Also a website, also another program that may came up. So that's kind of the help that I need right now.
And if it works out this semester, of course, upon board approval, and you like having students work on projects to help move the initiatives forward, you can take another group of students in fall. So there's always help year-round.
So it's a great thing. I just, what I need to know is, have you put the list of things that you need done? In other words,
That's something that we have to do together. I have to meet, this is the first time I see these 2 students. They just, the semester started this week.
Yeah, the semester started.
It's yesterday or something.
so, but do you know what you need done?
Yes,
So you must have that somewhere, and then you're gonna work with them.
yes,
And you'll be able to give us a report of how that's,
of course.
like, every meeting, say how, hey, we got this done with this help, and then,
Yes.
because that's certainly, that data will help them.
Yes, of course.
And excuse me, what would you all need from us aside from like oversight? Like, that's-
More than anything, your approval to move forward.
okay.
Your approval to move forward, because if we don't have that approval, they kind of get held back on the curriculum side.
Okay.
And then we'll have to pivot and find something else for them to do.
Now, I don't know, but
Well, we already have a volunteer committee as part of all of this.
Is there a volunteer, is that
And so-
committee here?
No, yeah.
Oh, she's a political rep.
Okay.
And so I'm not so sure that we actually need
Yeah.
full board approval for this, since
Yeah,
it's
maybe-
already an approved part of our,
Yes.
The
What
only
we
thing that may need approval is the MOU part, the memorandum of
and
understanding.
do you have it?
Well, we've already sent it over.
Yes.
Um,
I mean,
it's signed on our
my-
part.
My signature is on hold,
Okay.
but I mean, well, let's remember, I have another MOU with the South Texas Food Bank that didn't go through the board. I just signed it and we started working and collaborating together. I don't know if this other MOU has to go through the board.
Where
I
is
can
it? Do
just-
you have it?
Excuse me?
The MOU?
Yes, I should have a copy of mine.
As long as it doesn't require us to spend money.
No, it
Not
doesn't.
really.
It's, but
I can forward it. Is there a group email or a
No,
group?
just mine.
Okay.
I have it. I
Okay.
have your MOU. I just have it on hold because I wanted you all to know her and them.
and is the MOU with the local government corporation?
Yeah, it is with the organization.
It's LCUAS, Local Government Corporation.
Well, I don't remember the writing.
I believe it was drafted to, the way it was drafted, it was for the Laredo Center of Urban Agriculture and Sustainability.
Yes, and
Is
that's
that
a
not correct?
local government corporation, so LGC.
Okay. So, we weren't aware of that, so
Oh, we
you,
can always go back and check the MOU, right? Obviously, green and
Yeah.
sign.
the only thing, it's already signed on our,
by-
yeah.
Hello.
Hello. It's already signed on our part, so it may
Oh.
require some,
Is there a way to put LGC and do initials?
usually they tell us not to do that sort of thing, so we may have to go back and redo it. Whatever you all prefer.
Well, let's go back a little bit because we don't have quorum and we need to open the meeting officially. Can we have a roll call?
You have to call the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're calling the meeting to order at 1:55 p.m. And I'll do roll call. So Cristina Duarte.
Present.
JJ Gomez. Federico Elizondo, present. Orlando Navarro, absent. Viviana Frank.
Here.
Roberto Gonzalez, absent. Valerie Gonzalez, absent. Ruby Rangel,
Here.
Nidia Robles,
Here.
Francisco Reyes, absent. And Myra Hernandez.
Mr. Rosser, so we have quorum, and we can get started with the agenda. Okay. So I don't have a report other than we met with the city. The city has funded this year. This year, they're in the process of depositing the funding into the account. It's $45,000. And we have some things that we need to do before the October budget, and those things really have to do with defining the outcomes that we're shooting for this year. We have to do that in a meeting that we need to talk about, which is a kind of like a 2-hour workshop retreat for the work that's going to be done in the next year and a half in this organization. So, but that'll be on the next meeting. I don't think we have it on here. Discussion of possible action.
It's on there, towards the bottom.
It's on the bottom, right? Okay, sorry. We'll get to that later. I'll just give you the good news that we have some funding from the city, and I'll move on to the secretary report.
Yeah. So as you can see, the minutes from our last meeting, just to go over, we had a very present attendance, and we were able to adjust the agenda the time before then, so this is our second time having, the full agenda. The only major decision that we took that wasn't procedural was on approving the accountant's copy or QuickBooks access, just so that we can file our tax report and have our nonprofit status in order. But otherwise, that's pretty much it from our last minutes. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes. Does anybody want to second that motion?
Second. All those in favor? Okay. All those opposed? Motion carried. I forgot to ask if there was anybody here to make a public comment. No? Okay. So that being said, we'll move on to number, so we did secretary, and the treasurer is no longer, he is here, but he is not here today. He's in Laredo, but he is got an excused absence, and he won't be able to make a report, except that the only thing that I talked to him about is that the money had not yet landed in the account, and we're working through that right now. You want to give your report?
Yes, of course. My report is back of good news, like Ms. Diana was telling us. Since we didn't have a meeting in December, I'm gonna include some things that happened in December and things that are happening right now in January. The most important thing that I have to report is the meeting that we had on the 8th of January with the city manager, city council members, Melissa Cigarroa and Dr. Tyler King, both board members and advocates. The funds to continue operations were approved. And then a couple of days after that, we had a meeting with council member Cigarroa at the Casa Canseco. The city granted us the keys and some space to start setting up an office, a pantry, and where we can have our fridge, finally. The fridge that South Texas Republic is donating. I also talked to Ms. Cigarroa about the office space. We talked as a group, the need to have a washing station, some tables, shades, and some trash cans that she's working to get through environmental services. And we also, I made contact with a teacher from Lamar Middle School to start the project of having a mural at the back wall of the garden of the Casa Canseco property. That's a huge. Those are the things that happened last week. Now for the Texas Master Gardener Program, it's about to end next month. We will have a graduation. Federico is a member of that whole cohort. Sabrina Lopez also is a member of that cohort. We are going to be part of the program advisory committee. We just had our first meeting last week, the first week of the year. The purpose of that program is to transition from the first Master Gardener program cohort to become an association with an executive committee, so we can make decisions and fight and present, evaluate about urban agriculture in the Webb County area. Also with the Green District Zacate Creek Coalition from the MHM grant, we have been meeting since December, since the project was approved. We are scheduling sometimes meetings in person, sometimes virtual, but we are meeting to develop the scope of work, the expectations, the roles and responsibilities of the organizations, members of this coalition. Of course, the CUIS is part of this coalition. Then in February 5 to the 7th, I'm attending a meeting at Mole Ranch in Hunt, Texas with the group. That's something that it's like a mandatory thing that we have to do as a steering committee organization. We attended the December farmers market. We also attended another pop-up market on the 16th of December, the Mercado Saludable by Frontera View Garden. We also attended that pop-up. We are attending the Baby Fiesta in a couple of days, and we have committed to deliver 25 Baby costalitos or bags, however you want to call them, for families that are members of the American Cancer Society through the South Texas Blue Flag. This is going to happen the last week of this month. I also wanted to report on the MOU that we started the conversation with them. I have a copy of the MOU here in my email, but I don't know if you can probably print it out and have a better discussion of that. And also at the end of my report, I am including some grant opportunities. These are to the Texas A&M Forest Service. Last week we had a class with the area forester, Mr. Bill Green, and he presented about some different opportunities. The one at the end, I'm including the flyer, so probably one that we would like to pursue. And these grant opportunities, I believe, are important, are good, but these have to be like another coalition, like LCUIS, environmental parks, and other organizations interested, because these are good and huge competitive grants. But the one that takes my attention right now is the Tree City USA. This one is it's a good opportunity that we can try to pursue through environmental, through parks, and through LCUIS, and we can go to City Hall and present about this, so we can have our city, Laredo, named as a Tree City of the USA. I have a contact with the grants officer and with Mr. Bill Green, who is the one who shared this information with us last week. And that's all I have to report. Let me forward you the MOU.
When you say you're interested in these grants, what does that mean? Are you working on any of
Well,
them specifically?
Not yet. We just learned about this last week. The good thing is that we have, these are open. The bad thing is that we have less, probably like 28 days to work on a project, so we can deliver. The deadline is February 16th for all of these opportunities.
So what, are you asking for something like this?
Well, I believe we have to make you have to give me permission to actually apply to any of these. And the other thing that I would like to have, probably environmental services and parks involved in this project.
Yeah, so I looked into the Tree City USA, which is basically how to get the city to, have access to more opportunities with the Texas A&M Forest Service. And essentially we need a board, and the presenter we had at the Texas Master Gardener recommended having a forester involved, so that's why we were thinking LCUAS would be a good host for that, because we have different representatives from parks, from environmental, and from LCUAS, but that won't be until later. As far as the grant goes, I'm not sure where the status is on this, but I think Keep Laredo Beautiful is planning to apply for one, and maybe we can do a combination of that. I don't know, we would have to think of a project scope for where we would want to plant the trees and for what purpose. I don't know if anybody has any ideas, and then we can see how that compares to Keep Laredo Beautiful's mission, and if not, we can
So
apply
there's no
it.
reason to compete against.
No.
Are they offering to work with other people, or? I mean, I'm pretty sure the grant is,
You know what?
wants all
what
the different organizations.
category are you?
No, I'm not sure where, I mean, I can talk to them and see where they're at, and see if there's any potential for collaboration. But yeah, I can get back to you all. I know, I guess,
Well, Keep Laredo Beautiful is part of the environmental department, right?
yeah, uh-huh.
And so do you know that they're applying?
I don't know if they have officially written anything. I don't, as far as I'm concerned, they have interest in applying
I
as well,
see,
but
okay.
I don't know if they have actually, I don't think they have submitted a grant yet. And I don't know if they have a vision for where they want those trees allocated, because my understanding of the grant is they'll give you trees, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so we would need
They
to,
give
But,
you,
but we have to design a project.
yeah,
okay, we just went through this with a grant that was with the federal government for $50 million. The federal government, the one that we, RISC, and RISC had to bring all these different organizations, LCUAS was also part of that, and, you know, kind of provide a design of where it was all gonna go. We've kind of gone through all of this, so I know that there's where the areas are, and I know that there are people who can, like, make this all kind of gel pretty quickly, because it's already been
Yeah.
done on this other, I forget the name of the grant, but,
do you know who would be a good contact with RISC that
Oh,
we might,
well,
or for that grant?
well, Martin Castro or Trisha Cortez. And if Keep Laredo Beautiful is gonna lead this,
No, but the thing with this grant is that they are not only to get trees, they are also for capacity building, for workforce.
so that's great.
Yeah, that's a good thing about.
And
this
do you know
grant.
what the amount is?
Yeah, there are several, I mean, there are different amounts depending on the
Oh, it's not.
categories.
Okay. Got it.
So I serve in the KLB board. I know there's been small conversations about the tree planting, or the Tree City USA is one of the interest programs within the category of the grant. And it should have been, as long as I'm aware, unless there's other conversations going on. It's lined up with Keep Laredo, Keep Texas, Keep America Beautiful mission. So if KOB does apply, it will probably be for the Tree City USA.
So those are $10,000 maximum. That's a small grant.
Yeah.
So they're only applying in that category.
Well, I think maybe if you can go back to and ask them if they're willing to work, that LCOAS is also interested.
Yeah.
And maybe once meeting, we can see, okay, look at this flyer and say which one can,
Yeah.
together, which one we can.
Well, that doesn't mean
apply
that
for.
LCUS also can't go for one of these
Yeah.
separately.
Yeah, but it usually requests like to work with other, yeah, right,
Yeah.
like other.
Like the Mission Coalition, right?
No. And I think with this grant though, what, like, I think an instrumental part would be having Parks and Rec support, because the city forester is under Parks and Rec, and I think he's the one that has a lot of
Yes, and I know the
specialty.
city forester is Mr. Victor Navarro, which helps me a lot in the garden.
Yeah,
But at this, I mean, with the experience that I have working with them, they don't have a grant writer.
Yeah.
With city forester staff, so we may need probably the help of XJNM or someone can help us write and apply.
Yeah.
To have a strong and completing.
yeah. I think also not just at the time of writing, but actually executing the grant, we would need, because we would need a lot of like somebody to help, with all these initiatives that we propose. And I think Victor Navarro will be the one doing a lot of the legwork for all of this. So Definitely, if not at the part of writing, at the time of executing the projects. But yeah, so maybe I can see if I can reach out to Parks and see where they're, if they're.
I know Mr. Navarro is under staff.
Yeah.
I don't have staff, so yeah, we need to apply and try to get a workforce.
Yeah.
So can I also suggest that this other schoolyard forest thing sounds interesting? One of the,
Yes, that's
yeah,
another.
that would be a good one too. So what would the board like to do? Should we entertain a motion to, well, first of all, you don't need a motion to go for a grant, but like, to have is there any motion that needs to be done to move this forward? Do you all?
Can we make a motion? Because it's just executive director report.
I know, but we do have a grants thing that says that, like, I think in the past we have either, you don't need a motion to go for grants. That we know for sure. But is there any other motion that we need on this? Like, go for 3 of these, or what do we need?
My problem.
Well, go for
My problem, I see what you mean.
Right. I don't think you need a motion, you just need to organize it, and I'm willing to have meetings at Able City, and or Conseco now, or where we do.
Like, let me give you an example. The analysis 65, I think Laredo West is part of that geo space. So you could potentially go for a 550,000, $500,000 program. Because my understanding is we are in that.
That's true, we are, and does this have to do with economics? Yeah.
Just because Laredo is part of that list, we already have extra points. If they have a rubric, that's the extra points we have already.
Is this at
Versus
federal
let's say San Antonio
designation?
is not, and so we may be eligible to apply and earn the grant.
Okay.
So I think what would be most helpful is to have maybe like a committee to help with this grant, since the deadline is so soon and, there's a lot of different ideas. So maybe we can have like a subgroup or a committee pursue this outside of this meeting.
Well, is anybody interested? I'll be certainly I'll be part of it. If you want to, we can have a meeting at my office if you like. And just, what we need to find out is who's interested in partnering with LCUAS. And so, if, I don't know, Media, that's another thing that you can find out. If Main Street is interested in partnering in some
Okay,
of these.
I'll check it out. I'll look into this and I'll let you know this afternoon.
And then, you too?
Yeah, I'm happy to help. I'll try and see if environmental services can provide other support, and I'll see if there's any potential collaboration with Keep Laredo Beautiful. But as far as I'm concerned, as a board member of LCUAS, I'm committed to.
Okay, great. What do you think? Okay, we're good.
I mean,
All right.
is anything done or?
Okay. No, absolutely.
In all my 5 capacities. I'll bring everybody together and say, you want to do this, you want to do this, do that.
Yeah.
So we all go after the big one.
Yeah.
So I'll send out an email, or you send out an email asking, I'm available next week, any day.
I have good friends in the Office of Grants and Sponsored Projects. I work with them.
I can't hear you. You got to.
That I have good friends at the Office
Okay.
of Grants.
And we probably already have something that we can recycle
Okay.
and then just amend and adjust to
Actually,
modern needs
Dr. Kilburn went to the Guardian a couple of weeks ago.
with our new deans and the husband who potentially will oversee the grant. Yes. So, and we have some data already in there, so we can have.
So, thank you. Can we move on?
So I sent you the
Do
MOU.
you want me to pick?
Yeah, if you can, please. I'm sorry for the late.
So the executive session, there's no items for that, so we'll move on to Food Policy Council update. Sabrina could not make it. In fact, she no longer works with City Maker. She's actually graduated to Able City. She's going between San Antonio and Laredo now, so. But she's still helping put that together. I know that there's a meeting coming up, and we have, some things to report there in terms of, there at that meeting, in terms of, what the city is expecting from our collaboration with everybody else on the Food Policy Council. But we'll talk about that later. Does anybody want to, let's see, discussion with possible action on update on, I think we can, if you all don't mind, can we move to the next, is there anybody who wants to talk about that right now? That's also something that should be probably discussed at that 2-hour workshop. Make it an agenda where that item was at and we'll hash that out. Are y'all good with that?
Which one is that one?
10.
Okay.
Update on an accountant, have you heard anything?
No, Robert, I think he was sending him, they were asking him for some, the access was the last thing I heard, I'm not sure. I haven't followed up with Bobby.
Okay.
Mhm.
I know that he's available by phone, I don't know, we're gonna have to resolve that. We need to get the accountant on board, which means that we're gonna need to get some, I think we were talking about Ruben, right?
Yes, Mr. Soto. Mhm. I'll follow up, I can follow up with Mr. Soto, because I know there was an email sent to Bobby and he had CC'd me, but I'm not exactly sure.
Could you follow up on that? And
Yeah, I'll
just
check.
kinda send an email
I'll
out
check
on that?
exactly what it was and
Because we're heading towards that moment in time when we absolutely need them. And by the way, the city of Laredo is going to be expecting an audit at the end of the year. So, okay? You're on. And so, anyways,
Okay.
just if you want, give a little synopsis,
Yes.
an official, so that we can.
If you're just, if you may not have been here earlier when we were discussing, but my name is Amanda Del Toro, and we're thankful for the invitation to come and present to you today. I'm from the Bachelor's in Organizational Leadership program at Laredo College, and we come today to talk about a potential partnership between the Organizational Leadership Program at LC and LCUAS. So we have a experiential learning project component in our program in which students are assigned a project at the start of the semester, and they have about 7 to 8 months to complete the project. Now the project should be a project that they can lead, manage, control, oversee, and kind of take initiative on, right? And if you would have us, we would love to partner with LCUAS in a project that we've already discussed with Mr. Moreno last month surrounding recruitment and volunteer efforts. So our students would kind of take on that role in aiding Mr. Moreno and LCUAS in creating a system to recruit and retain volunteers, in addition to also kind of helping market LCUAS through social media. And a MOU was sent over to Mr. Moreno. It's already been approved and signed on our end, and we just needed board approval to kind of have these students move forward with the next phase.
So are they printing the MOU?
Yes.
Okay. other than from scope, so what we just need to be concerned about are any, you all have your own insurances with your kids and
Yes, every student is covered under the LC insurance, the liability insurance, and the MOU is just kind of a process that we need to kind of move forward with them actually conducting the project.
And so, but is there any requirement on our side to have any additional insurances than what we already have?
They're covered under ours.
Okay.
So in the state of Texas, if they're through higher education and volunteerism, it should be on the own accord of the student. If it's on the own accord, the liability does not necessarily fall under the institution. However, there still could be image-based damage, of course. But you're saying that it's part of the curriculum, so you all are covered through that project.
It's part of the curriculum, they're covered as students under LCs.
And as you said, some of the work they can do can be remotely.
The majority of the work will be remotely.
Okay, that's
Yes.
helpful for us.
The majority of the work will be remotely, usually through Zoom sessions with Mr. Moreno.
We've discussed about the possibility of creating a website and also managing or taking control of the farmers market events.
And we're also very flexible if, if we see that the project is not moving forward or there's a lot of obstacles or hoops to jump, we can pivot into something else. We've had a lot of projects that kind of pivot into something even better.
So are they here, I mean, we should ask them, but are they here because they're interested in this particular type of, organization, or are they basically learning how to manage organizations?
So when we meet with our students in new student orientation, we conduct a survey to kind of get a little bit about their educational and career backgrounds. And based on what they answered in on that survey, we place them in organizations that kind of match those career goals and educational backgrounds.
So y'all are interested in this work.
Yeah, I'm interested.
And we trust that any site, something that we promote a lot is leadership is one of those concepts or ideas that transcends industry.
Sure.
So anywhere you go, leadership is needed. So we're confident and trust that LCUAS will give them those leadership skills that we teach and instill in them.
And we're missing one more student, right?
We're missing one more student. The student, she couldn't make it here today, it was a little short notice, Christina Ramos, but you'll have another third member.
Oh, that's wonderful. We haven't read, at least I haven't read the MOU, I don't know everything.
Do you have more or less like a summary of the MOU, like, or what are main points that we should be aware of?
Yes. And I'm sorry,
They're not going to be at site, correct? It's all remote work?
Sometimes yes.
it'll be a few instances where they may be in person. Like if they're able to volunteer themselves, they may want to go volunteer at the gardens, or if they want to attend the farmer's market and help out there, they may do so.
Do any volunteers sign waivers?
Yes.
They all do.
Mhm.
So the expectation would be that
Yes.
even though there's an MOU, there's still a waiver?
Yes.
And then in higher ed, there's Title IX regulations that need to be reported. So let's say the students do report to Conseco and they are sexually violated in any way, any civil right violation. You do have it in the MOU as part of it. I think probably would want to see that piece just to make sure we're covered, at least under the Conseco.
I think we're covered for
us.
yeah, the
But
board.
then he needs to report it to them, because then it
I
falls
see.
under clear responsibilities under the geographical, because now it's geographical. So now we need to make sure that Conseco is going to be part of the geographical. If it's part of the academic program requirement, now that needs to be reported to the federal government under Clery. You may want to contact your Clery compliance officer at LC, just to make sure, because my understanding is even community college fall under the Clery Act regulations.
Yes,
and under your civil rights regulations. And so if you do have them, even if they step foot once, that's enough because it's part of the curriculum requirement. And so now your demographics base becomes part of their reportable process. Not that anything's gonna happen, but the government doesn't care. And that's a couple of $1 million fines that we hope LC never has, or anyone. Just some considerations. That's
Yes.
why sometimes internships are not as easy as, they're easy to build, but there's a lot of other layers in the back.
So, as a board, there has been insurance, well, and I'm not, see, because it's a local government corporation, it's really kind of it's, created by ordinance of the city, the property is a city property.
It's protected under.
So, yeah, they have it's a different kind of, and that's why I was asking, is it LCUAS?
No, I have it here in front of me. It's, it was actually, it's the agency, it's under Jose L. Moreno, Executive Director, Laredo Center for Urban Agriculture and Sustainability.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like LCUAS or anything next to it, but
If we need to go back, we will. It'll just delay the process a little bit.
which means, okay, so. Well, I mean, it's fine, it's just that we need to make sure, I'm concerned about insurance.
Of
Are
course,
we covered?
yes.
That's
Yes.
all. And if we
concerned
need to
about
get,
students.
yes, additional insurance, then we need to know that. And that's the only thing that we need to do, in my opinion, but I don't know. This is, there's LCUA, the only thing that's in, how many hours? Essentially, they're helping you do work, right? So, okay. Well,
And you can see this. So, you can just. We're good.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to add anything to the name? Or do we leave it as such?
I mean, it is Laredo's, I mean, everybody, it's an LGC, and it also has a nonprofit by the same name. That's the only thing that's, could get confusing, but it really is, because it's it's a city property, and the organization was created under city ordinance. So I think Laredo Center for Urban Agriculture, that's the name of it, under the organization. I don't think there's any confusion, but that's, what does the board, are we okay with approval of the MOU, or do we need to?
We don't need to approve.
Oh,
Do we need to approve?
I think we need, they want to know if we can sign it.
I was about to sign it in December, but I waited till today.
Well, because there are things in here, unless you know the answers to everything, and you know that the insurance is,
May I suggest that maybe you have legal take a look at it, just to be sure that.
Because nobody from the city has to review it, right? And technically, the site where these students will be visiting is city property. Yeah, I would say just have a courtesy, I would say just have, I'm gonna call it OGC, but it's the general counsel at city just to review it. And I think it'll be delayed maybe a little bit longer, but we'll have all eyes or ears, everybody watching for it looks very similar to what we have at the university for, with entity or two. So I don't think there'll be too much of a delay, but I think it's just,
I do think that's right, if the property is in the hands
because
of.
of who the property belongs to.
Okay,
And to safeguard your students in the college.
but it won't take, what we're trying to do is minimize the time, and as long as they review it and they
And
take
if it's
it,
approved and everything's good, then move.
and we'll send it to you right away, and we'll try and get this. Is it possible for you to help us with
Yeah, definitely.
putting this on top of the pile?
Yeah.
No.
So in other words, what we're saying as a board is have it just reviewed by city legal. If they clear it all good, then you can go back and say with it. You don't need to wait for us for the next meeting.
Okay,
So if they clear it tomorrow, hypothetically
Right.
speaking.
That I will add is if it goes past February, we will have to pivot into something else or assign them something else
No,
because.
we're trying to
Yeah.
get
No, we're
this,
trying to get it.
like, middle of next week, the latest, hopefully. What do you think?
It can take a while, right, Ms. Angie? We have agreements that, but this is only one review, so maybe it'll be quicker than going through all of the challenges.
If it helps.
It took us 3 years to enter the house.
Well, if it helps, it's very similar to the MOU they signed with TAMU just last semester.
Okay.
So with, again, a snippet of changes that they have compared to what we had for that, because they're a college, they're bound by certain regulations. That's pretty much it. And I think it's only 3 sections.
Yeah.
If I can define the sections, I'll let you know.
We can keep you all posted.
I don't really want to
The thing is that they're really just volunteers at that's where I think, I mean, we already have volunteers there, and we already have
I
the
mean, you just-
required documents that they sign. They're not,
In the past 3 years, we have nunca habido algo.
no, pero that
No,
has
I mean,
nothing to
just-
do with
no, just- I know.
it. Past history has nothing to do with
Yeah, I
what
know.
can happen.
But I mean, just for the record, she's the body to rep. She knows how we work in the garden. She knows what we do there.
So this is not, the thing is that this is not we already have the volunteer portion, component of LCUAS hashed out. If they're not going over there they might go and do the garden work every now and then if that's what they want to do as volunteers, but that's covered already. So that's the one thing, I'm not quite sure.
Well, in my experience, it doesn't take that long. But again, in case if they may have priority listings, hence what I'm saying, if they could just say, this is very similar to what has just been recently signed with another institution, that may say, okay, then we can bring it up, kind of glance to make sure that we can get it off the pile and then move on to other things. We can already read it.
Okay, well, let me put it this way.
Remember?
Let's or if they say we want to see it, we'll tell them the problem, and hopefully they'll put it up, because we really need their help. But I do think, rather than, yeah. I do think that we need
Like
to.
right now, there's no issues. Until there's issues, this is gonna come. And to safeguard the center, LC, the student, the city, let's just have all eyes, and then that's it. And again, it's very similar to what we already had, so I don't see that there should be too much delay.
Right, I don't think that it's gonna go beyond next week, and if it does, then, I mean, we're
And then
gonna.
if it does, and it takes a little longer than,
They
than
can
we
go as
expect,
volunteers.
they can start, we can put it on hold and they'll start in fall.
Well, we hopefully that won't happen, but we'll do. Is there any way you can help us with this?
Yes.
I know you're
I just like to dot my i's and cross my t's with all this stuff.
Yes.
I mean, it's just me working in city government, it's just the process that we follow.
Better safe than sorry. I mean, and it's already come up on the board and there's, but I mean, the feeling is that we should be doing this. Anyways, I don't think we need a motion for that, just. Okay. Great.
We're gonna excuse ourselves.
Yes,
But we wanna
and
thank
we
you for
will
the
get back to
patience.
you.
Yes,
Whatever the news, like
Yes.
as soon as possible.
yes, we appreciate that. Redirect. All right. Thank you so much for your time here today.
We're gonna make it possible, hopefully, Okay, so moving on to the next item, it's discussion with possible action on food policy. Since Sabrina isn't here, I don't think I don't know the answer to that yet. I know that what they want to do is they want to have the meeting after our meeting, or so it's dovetailing. And that would make this meeting,
2 hours.
that would be 2 hours. And that doesn't mean that the board needs to be there, they just want it to be, seamless. There are people who serve on both, that's the problem. Hi.
Hello.
The record show that Valerie is here. So yes, so that's the problem. Does anybody have a problem with that? That the people who show up for food policy council meetings, is that an issue? On those meetings, we can try and get the meetings down to 45 minutes. If everybody shows up on time, we can do that. And then, dovetail into the other one and do 45 minutes, and maybe that's an hour and a half. That would be, the one day out of the month, instead of having 2 days where people are showing up for 2 different meetings.
And I guess it would also have to depend on whether we can get the space for an additional amount of time for the Food Policy Council.
I'm sure you could, just have to reserve the time because this does get booked up.
A lot.
Yeah.
So it would be this day, and it would be an hour and a half. Can we find out if that's, or an hour, let's call it an hour and 45 minutes.
So the next meeting would be February
The next
the
meeting,
third, is it, that was the third Thursday of the month? February 15th?
it should be in here, no? That's the next meeting. No, I can't find it. Index.
It's on the link,
And how do you come up? The
Yeah.
15th. The 15th. So February 15th, are we okay with doing an hour and 45 minutes? So that we can put food policy council together? The thing is that it'd be really terrible not to get quorum because people are trying to come to the food policy council meeting. And the problem with food policy council is that you need more time than just a report. So we can try it. No?
I think the other thing that came up too was on, they wanted virtual attendance as well. And I don't know if,
Because the policy council meets virtually, I think.
And every 3 months.
Every 3 months. face-to-face.
Quarterly, it's like, should be together, so it would be once every. And that's the one that's coming up, by the way.
but
Well, is it I say try it and
Yeah, no, get out of
just
there.
try it,
I
figure
mean,
it out,
try
if
it,
it works,
try
if
it.
it's once, if it's once every 3 months.
Separate. If
Yeah.
it doesn't work, then we'll just go back to.
But it's the
Okay.
face-to-face, the face-to-face will do it back to
We'll
back.
just
It'll
do
back to
this
back.
and then
The
3 and
virtual
then 2.
It's whenever, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay, okay. Well, we still have quorum. Okay,
A couple of comments, if I may.
yeah.
We were supposed to have a class tonight for the Texas Master Gardening Program, but it was canceled, so I was able to schedule a couple of volunteers. We're gonna keep the garden from 4 to 7 today.
So,
Everyone wants to come.
okay, hold on, no, we're not finished yet, but I just wanted to know if you're available. I think the city would really like to see this successful in 2025, but in order to do that, we need to provide a plan and do a lot of stuff for the funding that we're gonna be asking for in October. And so we do need some time to work on that. Anybody available for a 2-hour meeting at some point between now and February 15th, that we can send out some dates? Openings, and you all are amenable to that?
Like, I am available except for next Friday.
So I'll send out some dates, and we'll get that, hopefully everybody can attend. It's kind of an I feel kind of excited about the potential of what can happen for the next budget cycle with the city. And I think sort of some of the council people are excited, and also City Manager Neb is like, he gets it. And so I'm really excited, he understands the structure of a local government corporation. He understands how it's different from a nonprofit. And so he's like, he really, for the first time in a long time, I really feel like as a city manager that he gets it, as opposed to other city managers we've had in the past. Anyways, we also, and we can talk about this we have to start thinking about nominations of officers and nominations for the board, because there are people that are probably missing, and we're gonna have to talk about that at the meeting, because we have bylaws by ordinance that say the nominations for the board to the council for council approval, and that's in the bylaws. Okay? So that's.
And you're gonna be at the
Sí,
garden today?
hoy vamos a tener de 4 a 7 porque se canceló la clase de...
And is that to clean or to harvest?
No, to maintenance, because we, todo lo del greenhouse lo metimos en la casa por el frío. Tenemos que ir a revisar, tenemos que hacer.
¿Qué recuerdos tienen ahorita para el sábado?
Vamos a tener todas y vamos a tener un poco de todo. Ahora, también, we committed to those 25 bags with the produce go to the farmers market, and we're going to save the produce for the 25 bags.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I mean-
because I was asking, Val does great, like little videos and reels for our promotion, and maybe she can go and record stuff that will be at Veggie this Saturday.
Yeah.
Para que te tengas.
We're going to work tonight from 4 to 7, and Saturday we're going to start harvesting at 9.
Jose, I wanted to ask if you would be able to come to our diabetes education class that we have. We're gonna have it next Wednesday, and it's over at around 10:45. To see if they want to volunteer. If they come here to help parents in the Healthy Learning Center.
What do I need to bring?
Just come prepared to, just to speak to them, to ask them if they want to, maybe after their nutrition class, they want to stop by.
Yes, I can. Can you send me an email, please?
Yeah.
Because I don't have it in my calendar yet.
Okay.
Pues nada, lo último es, ayer hablé con mis cigarros porque el dinero no ha entrado a la cuenta y yo tenía que salir. Eran un cheque el viernes pasado, entonces hasta ahorita lo estamos esperando todos.
Sí, pero
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
it'll be in, but, if there's no other business, we adjourn and then whatever we want to talk about. Okay. All those in favor? Okay, motion passes, we adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can you already go through?